This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
He was denounced as a murderer and by all conventional rules, a ruined politician. He, however, did not see it that way. He had come west to explore some new and mysterious pursuits, and as Hamilton himself had once said, he was bold enough to think no enterprise too hazardous, and sanguine enough to think none too difficult. Though he stood only about 5 feet 6 inches, and at age 49 was going bald, Aaron Burr, still trim and handsome, with luminous, almost hypnotic hazel eyes, had a way of charming nearly everyone, male or female. As his first biographer, James Parton, would write, he succeeded best with young men, and with unsophisticated elderly gentlemen. Many young men loved him almost with the love of woman, and made him their model, and succeeded in copying his virtues and his faults. He, on his part, succeeded in so imprinting his own character on theirs, that their career in life was like his, glorious at the beginning, disastrous, if not disgraceful, at the close. Both Hamilton and Jefferson had called him the Catiline of America, referring to the unprincipled ancient Roman notorious for scheming against the Republic. His lineage was highly distinguished. His grandfather on his mother's side was the great New England divine Jonathan Edwards. His father, Aaron Burr, a scholar and theologian, was the president of the College of New Jersey at Princeton. Burr himself had graduated with distinction from Princeton when he was only 16. He served as an officer in the Revolution, married, took up the law and New York politics, and succeeded in both rapidly and conspicuously. In the words of a satiric poem of the time, though small his stature, yet his well-known name shines with full splendor on the rolls of fame. Ultimately, running as a Republican, or Democrat, against Thomas Jefferson, he wound up tying with Jefferson in the 1800 presidential race against John Adams, and by a painfully drawn-out decision by the House of Representatives, became vice president. In the meantime, his most trusted political ally, his wife, Theodosia, had died. What exactly his intentions were on his expedition west was hard to say, since he left a number of different impressions wherever he went, depending on whom he was talking to. To some, he implied he had come primarily to learn as much as he could about the Western country to determine his next undertaking. To others, it seemed he wanted to stake out a new settlement farther south down the Mississippi. Then there were hints and rumors of founding a vast empire in the provinces of Mexico, and there were discussions, too, about the probability of a separation of the Western states from the Union. But again, it depended on with whom he was conversing. According to one observer, when Burr spoke, it was with such animation, with such apparent frankness and negligence, as would induce a person to believe he was a man of guiltless and ingenuous heart. Burr also implied secrets and high, even risky adventure to come. There was no human being, the same observer continued, more mysterious and inscrutable. Rumors and fearful speculation about a Burr conspiracy kept growing. The impression among many was that he hoped for hostilities between the United States and Spain along the Louisiana-Mexico border to detach New Orleans from the United States and establish a new independent country. "How long will it be," asked an editorial in Philadelphia's United States Gazette, "before we hear of Colonel Burr being at the head of a revolutionary party on the western waters? How soon will Colonel Burr engage in the reduction of Mexico?" On landing at Marietta, he made a visit to the ancient mound, which seems to have interested him greatly, as did the Marietta shipyards. Much the most important stop followed, when the little colonel stepped ashore on Blennerhassett Island on the balmy evening of May 5th. With him was a single traveling companion named Gabriel Shaw, a wealthy New York law client.